before we talk about what you all have planned for the office there in Northwest Arkansas, give us a sense as to your background, how you got to where you are today.
Okay. Well, we've been Salvation Army officers. We just completed 12 years as officers in the Salvation Army. Our first two appointments were in South Central Mississippi, the cities of Laurel and Hattiesburg. And we come here most recently from Shawnee, Oklahoma, where we served for 4 years. And so we come here with our two daughters, Madison and Catherine, and our two dogs, Rose and Rupp. And we've already fallen in love with the area. It's our first time in the mountains. We've spent time in the Delta and spent time in the plains. And so we're enjoying cool mornings and being able to see all the foliage.
Yeah, beautiful views.
How long have you been with the Salvation Army on a full-time basis?
So I was employed previously by the Salvation Army before I became a Salvation Army officer. And so including that time, probably close to 16 years with the Salvation Army in one form or fashion. But Salvation Army officers responsible for local commands for the last 12 years.
I came to the Army later. So including training, Salvation Army Training College for 2 years. A year prior to that, I worked for the Salvation Army in Texas. But prior to that, I was a surgeon's assistant and had my own practice in Owensboro, Kentucky.
Wow. So, Stacey, talk about being a captain. What's that job entail for those who may not know?
Everything. So one day you could be the janitor and the next day you could be meeting with the governor. It really is one of the most exciting things God has ever called me to do. I absolutely do not think I would be fulfilled doing anything else. It truly is a calling. We get to pray with the most vulnerable and we can pray with the most powerful. You get to see people at their lowest and most vulnerable. And you get to come alongside people who have some of the greatest assets that we need, who help us do exactly what we need to do to help the most vulnerable.
In all the years you've done this, is there any way of knowing how many lives you've touched and reached and helped? And you know, I would imagine the success stories are just amazing.
Yeah, I couldn't even put a number on it.
I don't think we'll ever know this side of glory.
Yeah.
What are your plans now? I know you've been here just a few, short amount of time. What do you see are the needs of this area?
Well, we're on our third day, so we don't have much knowledge, local knowledge. We do have a 3-ring binder full of information from our predecessors who have prepared information for us so we know what's going on, kind of what we're walking into. We do have a renovation project going on with our shelter here in Fayetteville currently, which is going to increase capacity there. And so that's really what we're working on now. We're looking at long range. What's the Salvation Army in Northwest Arkansas going to look like? What are the needs? No, not necessarily what are the needs today, but what are the needs 5-10 years from now that we can begin to position ourselves so that when those needs arrive, we're prepared. This area is anticipating explosive growth in the next 5 to 10 years. And so, with growth is going to come additional needs. And so we want to make sure that we're positioned to meet those needs as they arise.
Sounds like you have a lot of people that you need to meet.
Absolutely.
We do.
Absolutely. We also want to expand our advisory board, grow our advisory board. And we also want to be able to share with the community of Northwest Arkansas the work of the Salvation Army. We have everything from rehab programs to sheltering programs to Christmas programs, feeding programs. And I think the more the people know what we do, the more they're going to want to come alongside us and help us as we meet the needs of those in our community.
Have you seen that in some of the locations where you've been? You would think everybody knows what the Salvation Army is, but they really don't know what you all do.
The reality is most people don't have a clue. When they hear the Salvation Army or they think of the Salvation Army, they think of that little bell at
That's
Christmas
right.
time that is beckoning them to share with us their change. And they also think of thrift stores, and that is about it. And so we want to increase awareness of what the Salvation Army does, and what how we're assisting people in our communities. So we have we've traveled the whole, we serve 4 counties here in Northwest Arkansas. And the first night we arrived with our girls, we drove straight from the bottom of Washington County, practically to Missouri, to take it all in on 49, and have, we've fallen in love with the scenery, and we're going to fall in love with the people as well.
All right. Folks, thank you so much. Let me be the first one to welcome you, or first to welcome you to this area, and the best of luck, and thanks for joining us.
Thank you.